In this video, I'm going to show you how I cut an angled mortise to receive a wedge. Kind of thing you need to do for a tusk tenon. Specifically, what I'm going to be using them for is the tusk tenons on my medieval camp table. G'day, welcome to Chestnut and Egg. My name is 𝗄𝗶𝗂𝗁𝗂, and this is the latest video I'm doing in the series on my medieval table for my market stall and for camping. The first thing you want to do is lay out where you want the mortises to be. Just past the face of wood that the wedge is going to be pushing against. Now it doesn't have to be much past the face, but just, just a bit. A little bit, actually a little bit more than a smidge, just to be sure. And then that is the back of the mortise. The second thing you need to decide straight away is how wide the mortise is going to be, or rather how wide the wedge is going to be that you need the mortise for. In this case, I had some spotted gum, which was an appropriate thickness for the wedge, and so I just went with that, which I think was about 30 mil, 1 sun in the Japanese, 1.25 inch in the imperial. Yeah, 1 sun. Now at this point, just to get a mortise through the workpiece so that we can then start working on the angle of the tenon, I sort of kind of just make it square. And so I get an appropriate sized drill bit, drill a hole through where the mortise is going to be, and that helps speed up the process of cutting through. Oh, something I've learned the hard way is you want to cut these mortises from both sides, because there is a tendency for if you just cut through from one side to blow out a big chip of wood off the other side, and that's it's not a good look. And so cutting the mortises from both sides, that's kind of a standard practice. But to finish off the through mortise, which I've just finished doing now, just add a little relief cut, a slight angle. This doesn't eliminate the possibility of a blowout, but it does make it much less likely. Right, so to make sure that the angle is consistent, I use a jig. And it's a really simple jig. It's just a block of wood with a slight angle cut. In this case, I've just used 6 degrees. Now, it doesn't really matter too much what sort of angle that you use for the wedge. The shallower the angle, the tighter fit that you're going to get with the wedges, and the better it's going to hold the pieces together. But they're going to be a lot more difficult to remove. The more steep or obtuse the angle, then there could be a risk of a little bit of movement and wedges working loose by themselves as people are using the table, moving it backwards and forwards and so on. But on the other hand, when it comes down to knocking the table down and taking it apart, a steeper angles wedge is going to be much, much easier to remove. So you just kind of, make your choice and live with it. Okay, so we got the wedges. They're sitting in there nicely, but they're sitting a little high. So I think I want to open this up a smidgen more. So to open it up a little bit more, you just put the jig back on the tenon and then tap it back a little bit with a hammer, and then in a series of chisel cuts, take away the excess material. At the first, you would have the chisel sitting out away from the jig, and you trim some off, and then you bring it back closer and closer to the jig until the flat of the chisel is in line, flush with the face of the jig, and then you're done. So I hope you found this useful. The table at this stage is finished, it's done. The trouble is with the current situation and having the kids at home and everything else that we've got to do, trying to get the videos done is proving challenging. So stay tuned for more. There's more coming. I have got another box of tools to come out of quarantine and do an unboxing video. But before I do that box, I want to get rid of this, because I want to use those Japanese cutthroat razors that I got in the last box. So it's coming. It's just I'm just not getting these out as fast as I would like. And I know I've said that might be boring because you're possibly hearing that a lot, but well, I'm frustrated, so I'm doing my best, is what I'm trying to say. So enjoy, and I'll catch you in the next video in this series. Bye-bye.